Welcome you all to today's topic of class ninth, My Childhood. My dear student, I hope you have already read the chapter My Childhood of APJ Abdul Kalam, right? And you have already created the curiosity and you have already known what exactly the story is all about. And I hope you all have remembered part 1 and today we are going to read about part 2. As I already mentioned that it was very lengthy and in that part we dealt about part 1 and today we are going to read about part 2. Now let us see what this part 2 tells all about. So, for a child, the figure of authority is his parents, and the next figure of authority can be his teacher, a person who has authority over the child, right? So, who is the child? APJ Abdul Kalam, and the first authority is parent, and the second authority is teacher for a particular person whoever it may be, right? So APJ is saying that whenever a child is born, he has some qualities which he acquires from the elder in his family, and these depend upon the social status of the family and the environment in the home. From his father, he inherited honesty, as we sometimes inherit something from our parents. Similarly, APJ says that we possess some quality which is inherited from our family, and he says that he has inherited the quality of honesty and self-discipline from whom? His father, right? And from his mother he inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness. His sibling also inherited these qualities from their parents. So everyone inherit their own qualities from their parents. So APJ says that had three best friends during his childhood. Their names were Ramananda, Sastri, Aravindan and Sip Prakashan. So all of them belonged to very strict Hindu Brahmin family. So all were Hindu family, and this three person were his friends. Now APJ says that he was from a Muslim family. He says that during his childhood, all the children were so close to each other that they never felt they belonged to different religion. So my dear kids, it's a humble request to all of you, never criticize anyone in any respect. We all are citizens of our country. Our religion is one. We are not different to one another. So try to give respect to each and every person, whoever it is. Religion was not a barrier in their friendship. There is a very famous temple in Rameshwaram, and Ramanand Sastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshman Sastri and the priest of this temple. Which temple? Rameshwaram temple. So when these three friends grew up, Ramanand Sastri took the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple, and Aravindan started a business of transporting the pilgrims to and from the Rameshwaram temple. So one of the friend worked as what? A business person. He became a business person of transporting the pilgrims from to see or visit Rameshwaram temple, and the one became a priest of that temple. And Sid Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railway, and he was in charge of the catering of the railway. Catering, I hope you all know that the person who supply food. So whenever Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony used to take place, APJ's family also took part in it, and they used to arrange the boat for it. So in South, in Tamil Nadu, they organized this festival, and that is Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony. In that ceremony, what they used to do is they used to arrange boats for it, and they used to make a special platform on the boat on which the statue of Ram and Sita were placed and transported from the temple to the marriage site, which was in the middle of the pond named Ramatirtha. So what they used to do, they used to keep the statue or the idol of Ram and Sita, and they used to take that boat in the middle of the pond, and in that pond in the middle there will be a marriage site or a temple like place, and its name was Ramatirtha. So this pond was near APJ's house. When he was growing up, he never thought that there was any difference between Hindus and Muslim, and as they participated so wholeheartedly, he participated with his friends' ceremony. APJ says that they listened to story from the Ramayana and the life of the prophet from their mother and grandmother as bedtime stories, as we say lullaby, right? So they listened to the story of both Hindu god and Muslim god, and there was no differentiation. So he had all respect for everyone. So APJ says that though he belonged to Muslim family, he used to wear a cap on his head, which identified him as a Muslim. So his friend Ramanand Sastri was the son of priest of Rameshwaram temple, belonged to a Hindu Brahmin family, and used to wear the sacred thread worn by the Brahmins. So when these children were in class 5, a new teacher came to their class, and APJ recalls an incident which happened then. So what happened then? This new teacher could not tolerate that a Hindu priest's son was sitting next to a Muslim boy. So how can it happen? So this teacher, who was new teacher, he could not tolerate that a Hindu and Muslim, how can they sit together? He told APJ to go and sit on the last bench as he belonged to a lower rank of the society. And both the children felt very bad. So APJ changed his seat and went back and sat on the last bench. So Ramanand felt very bad. And APJ still remembered the image of his friend Ramanand crying. So how this beautiful relation is, this friendship relation is that both are sitting together. Though they are of different religions, still they are having pain for each other, respect for each other. And when APJ is instructed by the teacher that go at the last bench and sit there because a Muslim and Hindu can't sit together, then the other friend is crying and feeling bad for APJ. It left a lifelong impression of Kalam, of his friends feeling for him. See, this was the benchmark and the impression which last forever in his heart of APJ Abdul Kalam. So both the children went home and told their parents about this incident, and Ramanand's father, Lakshman Sastri, called the new teacher and scolded him. He told him not to kill the children's friendship by putting the venomous discrimination of caste and religious into their innocent minds. How the family were, see how beautiful and how respectable family, though they were Brahmin family, but still they have respect for each other, and they called the new teacher, and that to be Lakshman Sastri called the new teacher and scolded him that don't put such kind of things, filthy things in the minds of the student, and don't break their friendship. He told him not to kill the children's friendship by putting the venomous discrimination of caste and religious into their innocent mind. Lakshman Sastri was very clear in himself. He told the teacher, either you ask sorry for the wrong you have done or else leave the school and Rameshwaram town also. So the teacher asked sorry for the mistake he had done, and due to Lakshman's determination, his thoughts about religion and caste changed. The division of society into 4 groups, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, was strictly followed in Rameshwaram, but Abdul Kalam's science teacher, Shiv Subramaniam Iyer, was a religious person and orthodox Brahmin, but was a religious type of person. He did not believe in distinction on the basis of the caste system. He worked very hard to break this social barrier. He wanted that people of different castes should interact with each other. He encouraged APJ to work hard so that he could be at the same level as the highly educated people who lived in big cities. My dear kids, there are very, very, very few teachers who are like Siva Subramaniam Iyer. Though he was a orthodox Brahmin family, but still he have that faith that everyone is equal, no one should be discriminated. So Shiv Subramaniam Iyer's wife belonged to a traditional and orthodox Brahmin family, and she followed the religion very strictly to keep the kitchen pure, and no one from an inferior religion was allowed to enter the kitchen. So see how this opposite person meet. So this teacher's wife, who was a peculiar typical orthodox Brahmin family, she used to maintain this caste system, and she doesn't want that anyone should enter inside the kitchen and make it impure. So when Shiv Subramaniam Iyer called APJ Kalam for dinner at his home, his wife feared that a boy from a Muslim family would make the kitchen impure. She refused to serve him food in her kitchen. And Shiv Subramaniam Iyer was neither upset nor angry. He himself served food to APJ and sat down beside him to eat. So what happened? Shiv Subramaniam's wife did not serve APJ, but his teacher Subramaniam Iyer, he served food to APJ and sat down near him and started eating. His wife stood beside the kitchen door and looked at APJ while he was having food. APJ says that he does not think that she felt there was any difference in the way he was having his food, or the way he was drinking water, or in the way he cleaned the floor after the meal. He wants to highlight that religion doesn't matter, as it does not alter the way in which a person eats food. Now, when you can see an image, let me take close to the image. You can see the image how the teacher is sitting beside APJ and the wife is standing beside APJ and serving food. So when APJ was about to leave Shiv Subramaniam's Iyer's house, he invited him for dinner once again. And when the teacher saw that APJ was seated, he asked him not to be upset. He added that if he had decided to change the system to go against the norms of the society, he had to be strong and brave and confront the situation. So how good this teacher is. He's trying to say that don't feel bad. If you have the beautiful, the thought is all about Shiv Subramaniam's Iyer, right? So he's trying to teach APJ that you should be strong at your determination and don't be upset and go ahead. So when he visited Subramaniam's Iyer home for dinner the next week, his wife made him sit in the kitchen and served him food with her own hands. And this is the change that happened. When the Second World War got over in the year 1945, India was about to get freedom, which happened in the year 1947. And Gandhi, known as the father of nation, was a crucial part of India's freedom struggle. And he said that Indians would build their own India, and the entire country was filled with hope and happiness. And everyone was experiencing such a feeling which they had never felt before. And everyone was hoping that now they would get their freedom. APJ asked his father to allow him to go to Ramnathpuram, which was the district headquarters for the higher studies, and in reply, his father told him that he knew that APJ needed to go away so that he could not move ahead in life. He gave the example of a seagull which flies away in the sky all alone and does not have a nest. It means it does not have a home of its own, as it keeps on flying from one place to the other. So he's asking permission for the higher studies, but in return, father gave the example of a seagull that would simply fly from one place to another but never make a nest. So when APJ's mother came to know that he was about to leave home and wanted to go to Ramnathpuram for higher study, she got upset. APJ's father tried to calm her down and told her a few lines from a famous book titled Your Children, written by Khalil Gibran. He said that your children are not your children. They are the children of life. Don't think that you can rule your children. They are a result of life's desire for itself. They have their own thoughts. He asked her to give them freedom to fulfill their thoughts. Don't you think such a beautiful line written in this book, Your Children by Khalil Gibran? That they are not our children. They are born to fulfill their desire. Right? So I hope this chapter is really interesting. It would be really fruitful, impactful for all of you. I hope you have all enjoyed this chapter. And it's a humble request to all my dear kids. Please go back, turn your pages and try to read it out by yourself and feel the happiness within you when you understand it by yourself. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you all for watching my audio. For any queries, comments, feedback, do comment on my chat box. Till then, thank you all.